Hi everyone, I'm Saket. Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Law Prep Tutorial. And in today's session, we are going to talk about a very important topic concerning CLAT. And the topic here is that how do we efficiently tackle or how do we effectively tackle negative marking? Negative marking now as such is a very big nightmare for almost all the CLAT aspirants, and there is a lack of a certain idea or a certain way out of how to effectively tackle it. And in today's session we are effectively going to see that only. Let's see. See, the very first point that we have here is key identifying questions. Now understand that when you are attempting a mock or when you are attempting CLAT also, then there are certain questions. In questions you can categorize on the basis of your strengths and weaknesses. Like there could be a certain topic which is your weak point, or there could be a topic which could be your certain strong point or your strength. So what you need to essentially do in the first place is to segregate questions based on your strength, based on your weakness. And the best way to start with is to attempt those questions which are your strong point, because as such it helps you gain an edge in terms of confidence. And if you maintain that certain level of confidence throughout the paper, it helps you navigate through it in a much effective manner. The second point is assessing the difficulty levels quickly. And when I talk about assessing the difficulty level, this is an extension of the last point which I mentioned. There are certain strengths, there are certain weaknesses. And when you are able to directly assess or effectively understand that this is a certain point which I can navigate easily, smoothly, and at the same time maintaining my demeanor and composure, confidence, everything, just go for it. The next point is that there is a certain mathematical angle also. You know that you have 120 questions, you know that you have 120 minutes also, and the output in terms of marks is exactly 120. But आपको ये भी समझना पड़ेगा that once you go for any question, any wrong attempt or any negative attempt, what you're effectively losing is the actual 1 marks that you already could have gained if you went for the right option, plus the minus 0.25, which is the negative that you're already not doing, right? So in terms of mathematics, in terms of number, what you are losing is for every 4 attempts that you attempt wrong, you are actually losing 1 negative mark, right? And the next point is time allocation. Time allocation may sound like a really small point, but it's one of the biggest problems that we face. For example, we do not, if I just take an example of a mock, we fail to stick ourselves or we fail to restrict ourselves to the time limit that should ideally be allotted to a particular section. If for that matter, if I talk about English, and English may reasonable and ideal time limit should be somewhere between 22 to 25 minutes. Now, when you go for the 20 to 25 minutes limit and you respect that, what you will notice is that most of your questions and most of your attempts are reasonably sound, reasonably logical also. And maybe in terms of accuracy also, you are at a better spot. Now understand the parallel scenario, jahan pe you have 22 to 25 minutes, but in 22 to 25 minutes, you have not even gone through half of the paper. Now, the moment 22 to 25 minutes crosses, what will happen with you is कि आप आओगे under a certain pressure. The pressure is कि I still have 2 passages to go. I still have more than 10 questions to go. And under that pressure, what you will do is that you will commit mistakes. आपको हो सकता है ऐसे questions आप wrong करके आओ या incorrect mark करके आओ जिसके answers were actually served on the platter right in front of you. So that's one thing, effectively managing time, effectively understanding that you have to restrict yourself, you have to limit yourself to a certain time limit जो एक हर section के लिए ideally बनाया गया है. The next point, understanding why accuracy is non-negotiable, and also understanding that why balancing with accuracy with speed is of utmost importance. देखो, when you blindly go for questions, the result is there in the mock score. When you do not balance accuracy and speed, एक चीज समझने की जरूरत है यहाँ पे, that देखो, speed is something which is not going to, which is going to be on your part. आपका time is constant. You cannot change the time. You have 120 minutes. Any aspirant has got 120 minutes in his hand. What you can work out on is your speed. But the very first thing that you should be focusing on is कि in a certain time frame, how many questions do I get right? Not on how many questions I attempt in the first place. Because see, अगर आप 120 questions कर रहे हो and you end up marking 30 questions wrong in 2 hours, versus there is a scenario where you marked only 90 questions but you just got 5 or 6 wrong. So understanding कि ये जो accuracy और speed है and this non-negotiable element of accuracy, you have to go for that. You have to understand and respect that also. आप वहाँ पे compromise नहीं कर सकते हो. होगा क्या ना, if you score let's say if you go for 120 questions and out of that 25-26 are straight away wrong, and in a parallel scenario 90 questions with 5 wrongs. When you see that you have 90 questions and just 5 wrongs, you will have a certain kind of confidence. I am not saying that it is very much impactful, but what will happen is कि you will notice कि एक certain level of confidence आएगा जहाँ पे you, for that matter, you understand कि मैंने सिर्फ 5 wrongs attempt किए थे. So now maybe I can increase this 90 to 100, and at the same time maybe this 5, maybe it will stick at 5, or maybe it might go to 7 or 8, which is still better because आपका balance between the accuracy and speed is still getting maintained, because आपका 90 may go to 95, it may go to 100, and at the same time you will have that confidence also within yourself. The next is evaluating the options systematically. अब this is a common occurrence कि बहुत सारे factors की वजह से, maybe because of time, maybe because of not understanding the passage, at times होता क्या है कि we have the options but we are not able to evaluate it, we are not able to analyze the options, we are not able to understand the options clearly. What is required is कि as a pre-mock also, as a post-mock analysis also, have an evaluation, have a study or in-depth analysis, in-depth understanding of what a particular option was, what it meant, if it was wrong, why it went wrong, understand that. अच्छा, एक और strategy है, एक और point है which you can follow is targeted practice for negative marking. यहाँ पे what you can do is कि take 5 passages जहाँ पे you follow no guessing. You go for only those answers. जिसके लिए you have 100%, 100% strong support in the passage. Do that. Versus take 5 passages जहाँ पे you are doing only elimination, right? What you will notice is कि in one thing जहाँ पे आपने no guessing की, you will understand the difference कि where is the difference when I go for no guessing, where I go for only those answer choices which are 100% true, versus when I go for elimination only, मतलब I eliminate the options which do not make sense and then I come to the right answer. यहाँ पे you will understand, यहाँ पे you will get to know कि अगर आप no guessing policy, if you are taking answers which are strictly there from directly sourced from the passage, then what's the number of attempts that you're getting right? What's the number of attempts that you may still get wrong? You will have an understanding or an in-depth analysis of that. And this is one problem which you see right behind me. This is one such problem जो हर किसी के साथ होता है. What we do is ना कि usually तो अगर घर की setting में if you set, so you are able to solve a certain question, you are able to solve a certain paragraph also, certain type of genre, certain genre of passage also. But at the same time, when you notice कि because of those hundreds of students nearby and that exact mock scenario, yeah, for that matter, CLAT atmosphere also, you see that it is taking a certain toll over you. और वही questions जो आपसे शायद घर के atmosphere में हो सकते थे, बन सकते थे, you are not able to do that. उस वक्त क्या होता है ना, we start failing at the emotional intelligence level, and what we do is कि because of that ego कि नहीं मेरे से क्यों नहीं बन रहा, मेरे से बनना चाहिए, you have to understand कि आपके पास eventually at the end of the day you just have 5 to 6 minutes per passage, if well, let's say I'm talking about English, and in a certain section also I have a restricted time limit. अगर वो एक restricted time limit मेरे पास है, मेरे को उसको respect करना है, so I cannot go beyond that, and when I cannot go beyond that, so there is no way जहाँ पे हम अपनी ego या panic या उस taking head on with the passage that or the subject that why am I not able to do that, you cannot afford to do that. इस सारे ego fight के लिए we have the post mock scenario wherein you can actually solve it at your home, पर ये mock में या ये CLAT में नहीं चलेगा. So that's one more important point. Or the second thing, let's say if I am attempting 120 questions, अब 120 questions में एक ideal or a good enough negative could be somewhere between 7-8 marks. Now you have to understand कि जो 7-8 marks हैं, this 7-8 marks roughly translates to around 26-27 questions, wrong questions. wrong attempts out of 120 in a mock scenario. अब यहाँ पे ही ये होगा कि आप ये 120 में you will understand what not to do and then maybe you will minimize the errors. That's how your wrongs and the rights will also get balanced in the future. पर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ वन थिंग इज इंपॉर्टेंट दैट देयर इज अ सर्टेन थ्रेशोल्ड या एक लिमिटेशन या एक वार्निंग सिस्टम सेट करके रखना है कि आई डू नॉट हैव टू गो बियॉन्ड दीज मेनी नेगेटिव्स इन द वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो. ये सेट करना, ये माइंड में हैविंग दैट फ्रेम ऑफ माइंड व्हेन यू गो फॉर अ मॉक और व्हेन यू गो फॉर क्लैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड द नेक्स्ट, the fact that you're going to sit for CLAT and having that kind of composure, having that kind of demeanor requires कि आप घर की प्रैक्टिस, आप अपने प्रिपरेशन की प्रैक्टिस में wherever you are, you have to understand कि आपको एक certain emulation की ज़रूरत है and the emulation should be of exactly what you are going to have in CLAT. So go for mocks, go for as many mocks as possible so that you actually have an in-depth understanding also and an experience of also of the type of aura, the type of atmosphere that you're going to get in the actual exam. So try to emulate that and go for solving questions, go for time limit strictly according to what's gonna happen in the actual exam. And the very most important thing is कि हम mocks देते हैं, mocks दे देते हैं and then most of the times what we do is कि the mock goes to the side corner. Please don't do that. हमें negatives reduce करने हैं, हमें negativity tackle करनी है. And the very first thing that you should be doing is to understand कि where am I failing, understanding the weak spot, understanding the weak areas. That is something you definitely need to do. उसके साथ साथ understanding your common errors. कुछ common error types हो सकते हैं. Maybe you don't understand how to pick a title. Maybe you don't understand how to pick the main idea. Understand and segregate after each mock. And have a thorough analysis for last 5, last 6 mocks, and that is when you should go to anyone and that is when you should understand कि these are the common error points जो मेरे 5-6 mocks से prevalent हैं and I definitely need to work on these things. And then recording and analyzing the why as in if the answer is wrong, if I attempted it wrong, then why was it wrong? Understanding the logic behind that is also important and implementing corrective measures as in कि future में मैं इस errors को minimize करूँगा या करूँगी कैसे. So that is it for today, and just in case you like this video, do let us know in the comment section below, and for any other video or any other topic which you find important, do let us know in the comment section below and we'll definitely try to come up with a video on that. Thank you.